We are reviewing our new lesson for today. It's 18.7, and we're looking at customary units for weight. Again, customary units for weight. And we're going to be looking at answering this question. How are ounces and pounds related? Now, this customary units of weight is what we use here in America. The rest of the world uses the metric system. And if you've been noticing the patterns in the Math Go Workbook, it's one section with customary units, and then the next section is the metric system, and I'll show you right here. So we're looking at customary units for capacity, then we go to metric units for liquid volume, customary units for weight, and then we look at it using metric units for mass. Okay, so weight, mass are related, capacity and liquid volume are related. We just have two different methods of measuring capacity and weight. And that's the way things are right now. Hopefully, when you get older, the United States will convert it to the metric system. Like I told you before, there was a big push when I was younger for the U.S. to follow along with the rest of the world. But that's not the case, so we have to learn both. But just understand when you get up to the higher grades, you'll start converting ounces into pounds into ounces, and kilograms into grams. But you should have more success with, or it'll be a lot easier to remember the metric system because it's on a base level, a base of 10. So going back and let's look at your 18.7. This is going to be an easy lesson for you because I know you're way advanced right now. The level of work that you have been producing is amazing. Keep it up. So let's look at this. If you need to write down some of these notes, go ahead and put this in your math journals. 18.7 would be your title in your table of contents, and your title will be customary units for weight. And you would record what weight means, how many ounces in a pound, and anything else of value that you have. You're going to be conducting some of these activities on your own at home, and I will walk you through them. So let's go ahead and take a look at how ounces are related. So what you want to look at is the weight is the measure of how heavy an object is. Okay. For the customary units for weight, we use ounces and then pounds. Ounces being the smaller unit and pounds being larger. Okay, so if we look at a loaf of bread generally, for the most part, will weigh 1 ounce. Okay, a loaf of bread will weigh 1 pound. And if you know your units of weight, we have 16 ounces in a pound. 16 ounces in a pound. So we take a look at this activity here. It says 16 ounces and 1 pound equal the same weight. Finish the drawing of slices of bread to show how ounces and pounds are related. So if we have this right now, I'm not going to be drawing the bread for you, but I will help you with this. So if we make this sentence true, we're going to go ahead and take a look. So we have 4. We know 16 ounces make a pound, so we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have an array of 4 columns, 4 rows, and we're using these as if they were slices of bread. I just did the dots just to make it a little bit quicker for us. So 16 ounces are in 1 pound. Now it asks you right here, suppose you weigh a bag of potatoes in pounds. Say it weighs 5 pounds. Okay. And then in ounces, which number, and it's asking which number would be greater, the number of ounces or the number of pounds? And explain that to me. Which number would be greater? Okay. Well, if you take a look at that ounces, you're going to have to multiply 5 by 16. 16 times 5. What's that? 80. So which is larger, the 5 or the 80? Now, it's tricky because the trick question is which one weighs more, 5 pounds or 80 ounces? They're equal. They both weigh the same. I used to have a quiz, or a teacher asked me what weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead. There's always someone that says, "Oh, it's a pound of lead." No, it's a pound. If it's a pound of feathers, it's a pound of lead. They are equal. No, they don't weigh. One doesn't weigh more than the other. You have to listen to what they're asking you. They always just try to do that. What weighs more, a pound of lead or a pound of feathers? What you have to understand is you have a pound in general. The next activity you'll be doing on your own, you're going to need a scale and objects around your home. They give you suggestions here. You don't have to use these if you don't have them. Substitute them for what you have. And most of us have a type of scale in our home somewhere. If you don't have a scale, then you can just research, generally just Google this and get an idea of how much each one of these weighs. Okay? So you can determine on what unit to use to weigh something, whether you're going to use a pound if it's larger and an ounce if it's smaller. Now the unit means how many, so each one will be 1. Okay, so I know apple will be in ounces, a book might be in a pound depending on the book, a pencil box probably ounces depending on the pencil box, a tape dispenser, again, depending on the size, so you want to play around with that scale and give me some weights here. I may call on you during our live sessions to discuss this quickly. So if you don't have these items, use whatever you have at home and substitute them here, and then write down how many units and then the weight. Okay. If you don't have a scale, that's okay. We want you, if you do the rest of the activities together with it, you're going to get an idea of what an object pretty much weighs, and we'll try to determine what to use, what unit of weight to use to weigh things. Okay, so if a strawberry weighs about one, unless it's the world's largest strawberry that I haven't seen yet, it's an ounce, 1 ounce, about 1 ounce. So which unit would you use to measure the weight? It's ounces or pounds? Well, this is a button. You're going to use what? An ounce. And the abbreviation for an ounce is OZ. A cat, a pound. Abbreviation for a pound is LB. LB. Okay? That's an L. Small L. An LB. Okay? What about a ruler? Yes, an ounce. You're going to measure it, the weight in an ounce. What about a drum? In pounds. An LB. And I'll put pounds. I didn't put the S. Pounds. It's going to be more. It's going to weigh more than 1. So ounces to weigh these. Okay. Now it doesn't mean you can't weigh a cat in ounces, but you definitely can't use a unit of pounds for a button. Okay. So let's look at this one here. Okay, what you're going to want to do, go around your home, find something that you think weighs more, weighs more than a pound, draw it here, and find something that you think weighs less than a pound and draw it here and label it. What is it? And label it. I'm going to go ahead and do mine. Okay, greater than a pound, I have, and I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going to eat it later on. It's a pineapple, and I know exactly how much it weighs because I weighed it before I purchased it, and it weighs approximately 2 pounds. When I weighed it at the grocery store, and that's my pineapple. And how they look, they have all these shapes here, and I would write pineapple here. Okay, so you do the same. Now I'm actually not weighing it because I've already weighed it at the grocery store, but I know it weighs 2 pounds because I could read the label also if I didn't weigh it. But You can use anything else that you have at home. What about less than a pound? Well, it just happens that I have something right in front of me too. If you haven't noticed yet, I'm looking at my fruit basket here in front of my. This is a banana, and the banana is going to weigh. I'm going to estimate it's going to weigh maybe about 10 ounces. Well, I'm going to say 8 ounces, and that's a banana. So do this on your own here. Just get the idea of what we're looking for. So we're looking at unlocking the problem. Question number 8. Multi-step. So let's take a look at how we look at this one. Jared has a canister that has 48 ounces of homemade trail mix. He wants to package the mix in bags that each hold 1 pound of mix. How many bags can Jared fill? Okay, so what do you need to find out? You need to find out how many bags can Jared fill out of his homemade 48 ounces of homemade trail mix. That's what you need to figure out. What are 2 ways to describe the amount the bags can hold? Well, it's 1 pound. I can do it in ounces. I can describe it in ounces, or I can describe it in pounds. Okay. Let's take a look at how we're going to figure this out here. So remember the number, 48. So complete the sentences. 16 ounces is the same weight as 1 pound. Each bag holds how many? What's 1 pound? So how many ounces in a pound? Yes, 16. 16 ounces of mix. Now we're going to do this section here. Now the number's 48. Okay, I need to make an array here, 48, and I know my 2 factors that I can use to make 48. 6 times 8. So I'm going to make my array to match that. So I'm going to have 6 columns with 8 in each row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. I drew 48 to represent my 48 ounces. And I'm going to use what I know about ounces and pounds to work this out. So I need to make groups of what? Of 16. I know these are 8. So I know 8 plus 8 equals 16. So that's one group. Here's another group of 16. And here's another group of 16. So 48 ounces can be separated into how many groups? Into 3 groups. Into 3 groups. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3 groups of how many ounces each? How many ounces each? How many ounces each? So we take a look at we were looking at the how many ounces in each group. So we know there's 8 here, so that's 16 ounces. So Jared can fill 3 bags with 1 pound of trail mix each. Again, converting those customary units of measurements. So here the last one here, Hank says that 32 ounces is the same as 3 pounds. Does this statement make sense? Explain it. Explain it to me. Does it make sense? The answer is no. Why doesn't it make sense? Because 32 ounces is not 3 pounds. 32 ounces is 2 pounds. Now, how do I know that? Because 1 pound is 16 ounces, and another pound is 16 ounces, and when I add those two, I get 32. Okay? And we already know from this question that 3 groups, this equals 48. 48 ounces. We already know that from here. So no, Hank is not correct. So you have your daily task assessment to work on. Take your time. Go ahead and do your customary units for weight, the homework and practice. And again, just work through the process and know your ounces relationship to pounds. And it's 16 ounces to pounds. Thank you very much for being great students. And good luck on your homework assignment.